Hello, everybody. So welcome to another live stream of Momen. Momen is a no-code application development platform and full stack, and we are actually going to soon become what we call vibe no-coding platform. Whatever that means, I shall somewhat explain that in a different video. But what we'll do today is we're going to create an app on Moment, but using Claude Code. And you may ask, like, why do we even need? Sorry, let me just get this one out of the way. I've got these screen issues I have to deal with. Just one more moment. Yeah, so the idea is that we can now use Claude Code or any coding agent of a choice to build on top of Moment, and then you can see it being built. You can also go in and interfere with it, and you can make your own adjustments. And today, what we're gonna build is this thing. So let's just go through this. It's a meal planner. It's quite simple, but it's a real thing, and then it fetches data from USDA, and then we'll see how that's built. And before we build a replica of it, obviously, being AI, you can never know what it will actually build. So there's always a chance that this thing's going to fall apart as we live stream. But that's the destiny of most live demos. All right, so let's register. By the way, all this is running on Moment. So at the moment, we should have no account. That's me, right? I don't have an account yet. I'm gonna get my Safari. And I'll get my little verification code. Okay, loads okay, here we go. Took me a while to get into my Gmail. That's my code. All right, so let's take a look at the database now. It is, and now I have registered. A male 37, 170, and these are in metric, so do whatever you want to do. You can change it to imperial if you want. Somewhat active, maybe. Goal is to, I guess, build muscle, maybe. And I like high protein, low carb. Yeah, Mediterranean's fine. Actually, I don't care about Mediterranean. Well, I don't care about that. No allergies at all. Generate my plan. So what does it actually do, right? It will invoke this monstrous action flow, within which it will invoke an AI. It will do both, well, two of them. Macro calculator and meal plan generator. So let's take a look. It's using Gemini 3.5 Flash. I guess this one just invoked and then it's successful. Well, that means let's take a look at this. Is this? Oh, that's also done. So this should be done soon too, I think. Yes, let's go back. And is it done? And also, like, just since we're already here, right, you may notice we now have this big block to the right, which is called AI Copilot. That's part of the vibe no coding thing I was going for. So you say, like, what does generate meal plan do? The AF. Well, AF standing for action flow, but I think AI should be able to figure that one out. And if you take a look at this, it's going through. Oh, that's pretty quick. The generate meal plan is an autonomous user macro calculation. Okay, shorter don't have time to read this. That's pretty quick. Calculate daily targets. Okay, use AI to compute your calorie and macro goals, and then generate the plan, save to database, and returns the ID. All right, so okay, it's back. It gives a 3-day meal plan of bacon, spinach, and blah blah blah. Tells you how much calories it has. And let's ask here, like, what? How does it calculate total calories? All right, says sums up by nutritional contribution of each ingredient, USDA lookup and scaling, and incremental database update and accumulation. So in the end, it just calculates the whole thing and updates the calories count. Okay, so that's pretty good and pretty quick. I forgot what model I was using. That's surprisingly fast. Usually it's not this fast, but that's a good thing. That's a good thing. All right, so we've seen what this thing does. It also gives you a shopping list so that it covers you for 3 days. And if you want to change to 7, well, that's that. Okay, so this is all this does. You got a plan. I mean, this thing says plan number 10 because that's the ID, which is kind of stupid because that ID is global. But it's AI, it's fine. You can always make changes to this. All right, so that's essentially the entire thing. If you logged out, you got a login screen. If you log in, you can generate a plan and you can check out your history, and that's about it. So how do we build this? This is a product requirement page, and it just encompasses what we are going to build today. And this is a QR code if you want to just take a look at it yourself. And so we're going to essentially build this entire thing with AI. Obviously, this looks quite involved, right? But that's because I want to control the outcome of this demo. If you actually asked Claude Code or whatever, we're going to use Claude Code today. If you only ask Claude Code, like, how do you build something like this? Just telling them this, it's going to do a fine job. Okay, so you can open this up yourself, and here's a link, right? And then you can see the video, blah blah blah. Now let's get to the meat of this. I already have Claude Code open. Let's make this somewhat large. Okay, I have Claude Code open. I'm going to install a critical thing called Momen Plugin. The Momen Code plugin is this thing that we built to let you use Cursor or Claude Code or Codex or whatever fancies you that supports a plugin to build on top of Momen. And the way to install that is fairly simple. If you're already in Claude Code, like here, I'm gonna do copy paste. You have to do it one line at a time because it does a couple stuff. And ta-da! Oops. Yeah, it's now installed. I think. Oh, that's pretty clever. We can now remove this line. It used to be the case that you have to reload the plugins before you can use them, but good. So now we're gonna use Momen Platform as the plugin, and we're going to start building. Again, let's walk through this process, right? So the user's going to submit the form, the thing that I filled in. It was my information about my preferences, my body type, blah blah blah. Agent one calculates the daily calorie targets. The other one drafts the 3-day plan. So it's like you formulate the target calories first before you start to assembling the shopping list plus the recipes. Okay, and we're also going to use a USDA food data central thing, which is free. Thanks to Uncle Sam, we now can know this is where you do it. You can, it's a free thing, so you can just go there and register. Already got my key, but with this, you have like authoritative data on like how much calories, each food item contains, and whether it has, you know, more proteins, all the macro stuff basically. And it also prevents the AI from hallucinating, because if you just ask an AI like how much calories is there in 100 grams of something, it might give you a different answer each time. And now here are our massive backend prompt. I'm just gonna copy this, and we're gonna start building. And before we go back to this, okay, so I was talking in Chinese, so it was responding in Chinese. Okay, use English. Actually, I'm in the wrong folder. That's why I was angry. I was in a folder with a bunch of Chinese content. Let's just start it somewhere else. Momen Code plugin. All right. I'm just in my temp project now. There we go. It's trying to identify. But yeah, now I have to log in, which is fine because I have not logged in. Okay, so here we go. We're going to log in on behalf of our agent. So now it can behave as me. All right, we're in. Oh, it's searching for a bunch of my projects. No projects pinned yet. All right. I had a bunch of crazy stuff. Start a new one. Oh, it's going to now ask me about stuff. So tell me the idea. Okay, let's tell him the idea. Copy this whole thing. We're gonna skip the front part because that's when the whole thing is going to just okay, how do I do this? That's not very friendly. Well, in that case, that's also not very friendly. Let me find a thing that actually allows me to edit things. By the way, what you're looking at is Momen's editor, source code. All right, remove this. I'm just gonna paste this wholesale into that. Ta-da! And I'm also gonna paste in the keys. It doesn't have the key yet, so I'm gonna give it the keys. Where are my keys? There it is. It's a bad idea to do this, but this is a free key, so it's fine if you guys like take it away or whatever. And also, we do have a secret management system inside Moment, so if the AI is smart enough, it is going to put that into the secret rather than just writing it directly inside the configuration of the API. So, oh, that is wrong. That's, yeah, somebody has told me this. Okay, that's a bug. By the way, what it is after we had a type system refactor, and it gives you like fancy UIs and all the enums and other things. Basically makes Moment like much cleaner, but it's not fully ready yet. I think something in the plugin is busted. I have to update this. Yeah, okay. The start part, I think that is a bit busted. I have to let's do it manually because it was not doing. I'm gonna. Oh, by the way, just show you it's gonna look different from. This is a post refactor thing, so it looks like this. It's almost ready. I think we should be seeing this in like a week or two, but for now, it's not ready for prime time yet. So we'll do one with AI meal planner pre 5.0. Okay, here we go. And just to prevent the whole Claude Code getting confused, I'm going to restart this. Use blah blah blah, and copy this thing. All right. That's also my keys. Where's my key? That's my key. Okay. Okay, this time it's correct. All right, this is all good. Now it's properly understanding stuff. You can see it's reading instructions from the skills, the skills thing, and then it's now ready for building. And we can sit here and look at it do stuff, or a better use of our time is probably to look at what we're gonna build inside here. So, finding a nice thing to read. Okay, let's see if I can do a preview. Yeah, okay, this is somewhat better. What it says is build only the backend for a web app. Okay, so we know it's a web app, an app that creates 3-day meal plans for people who cook their own food at home in the US. And we're only going to build the backend for now. The reason we're going to do this is we are going to build the front end separately, also using Claude Code, and hopefully deploy to either Moment or Vercel. The example you see was deployed on Vercel. That's because Moment didn't have the ability for you to deploy your own front end code into Moment's infrastructure. But that has changed last, well, 1 day ago. So we're going to see if that works. If it doesn't work, it's a completely new feature I haven't tested myself, so I don't know. So account, yeah, that's fine. User can log in with email. It's okay. Input, they need their gender, age. Wow, this one says specifically in centimeters or kilograms, but you could change to feet and inches, whatever. Activity level, fixed choices only, goal, fixed choices. This is very specific, and that prevents AI from going crazy, but it also limits AI's creativity too. Oh, by the way, anytime during the live stream, if you have any questions, just feel free to ask. We're gonna be waiting around for the AI to do the job for most of the time, anyways. Restrictions, blah blah blah, should do with this data. Okay, calculate how many calories, and based on their body stats, activity level, go use a BMR. Okay, I have no idea what this means. This probably comes from some AI that's better than me at calculating calories. And also calculate the target range for protein, fat, blah, 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 blah. Save these data into user profile. That makes sense. Then create a 3-day meal plan. 9 meals total. Meals must be American Western home cooking style. Yes, so no fancy stuff that you get at a Burgundy. Use the most 12 distinct ingredient. That's very important because you don't want stockpile 15 or 2 dozens of different food items in your fridge. Very difficult to manage. It also creates a lot of waste. Pick small core sets of proteins. Okay. That's good. Add all this blah, 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 blah. That just explains the core workflow. Should store and expose. That's fine. The user's information, the full plan, and the shopping list, and save it into history. That's good. And also we gave it USDA's Food Central. But if you don't have all this detailed information, this is entirely doable without the detailed instruction that we gave it. You could just point it to that and tell Claude to figure out how to get this information within Momen. Claude is very good. In fact, anything you can use Codex with, I don't know, even Luna is able to do it. And if we have time, we can showcase like how within Momen you can probably do it as well. Like you could use Momen's AI copilots to figure out how to import this API. Okay. And then that's that. So that's good. So let's take a look at how far Claude is. Oh, it's testing stuff. That's good. Oh, it's already built the database, so that's much faster than I expected. Let's take a look at what Claude has built. Okay, so we have the AI Meal Planner pre 5.0. That was the one. We were here. It was just showing account. Now it has user profiles, plan requests, meal plans, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so each time we ask it to plan, it is going to create a single, record a single request. And with that, you're going to have like 12 meals. So this is 1 to n, but really like 1 to 12. And what this is, request tag. I don't know what these are. What it's trying to do with the tags. We'll see. Claude is also going to seed this with some fake data, hopefully later. So we'll ask what it does. Currently, it should be all empty. It has not synchronized the changes yet. For people that are familiar with Momen, anytime you build something on the backend, you have to synchronize it before it takes effect in the actual runtime server. This is only editing, right? It's a bit like deployment in the developer's lingo, but obviously we're not going to use that. It's kind of too jargony. All right, so here, well, good. We're now looking at how Claude is building this thing as it's happening. It is sending some stuff with an API key, and that's empty. Here we go. The result has total hits, foods, the food DC ID, description, nutrients. Okay, that's all Claude's doing. You're seeing it live. It's importing this API so that we can then use it to fetch information from USDA's database. Okay, that's probably done. Let's take a look at here. It says, oh, we're done with secret as well. So now we should have a secret somewhere here. Yeah, it has also stored a secret inside our secret store so that later you can use it without people. You can share this thing out and people won't be able to see your secret. This is only stored in our backend and it's not part of the we call this the schema, but really you can think of this as a source code, right? At some point we will release. In fact, once it's stored, there's no way to get it back, either by human or by Claude. It's a write-only thing. It's only readable during runtime, and editors won't be able to see this. You can only put in a new one, which if people get access to your Momen project, and you share this to an editor, they can mess your secrets up, but they can never see it. Okay, so this one is now done. The API is fully configured. It was doing the meal plan agent. So let's take a look. That is your meal plan agent. Oh, wow. Okay, it takes in a bunch of stuff from, and why the decimal? Shouldn't this just be an integer? But whatever, it's just going to be just fine. Takes in a bunch of inputs. It's going to return some outputs. Let's take a look. Oh, here we go. It almost feels magical, right? It's almost like AI writing code, and it's picking something really expensive. Okay, you could change it here. You can do it at the same time as AI doing it. I'm just gonna change this, and in fact, whenever I change this, when an AI tries to update this, it's gonna notice that it has changed, and it will reread this to ensure that it's editing something that it knows the current state of, instead of just plowing along and making more mistakes, right? So that's doing that, and now it's probably going to add. Oh, here we go. It's going to add the system prompts and user prompts and whatnot. Okay, that's very involved. Where do you put? Let's see. It should have some user prompts to tell it like, these are the things that we want. Let's see. Sometimes it will still make mistakes, but it's still working. It wrote a bunch of things. I don't know what it did. Ah, here. Yeah, okay, that is the one. Okay, it's yeah, that is what I was doing. It formulated an entire user prompt, taking in all these inputs and just stuffing them into the correct place of the prompt. And now it is going to give it tools. I think it's going to build the tools so that AI can fetch the food calories from USDA instead of imagining stuff. So it has taken a look at, yeah, there you go, and oh, it has, I think it's gone, it has, yeah, it has ignored our instruction on using USDA data. So I'm going to ask it, where is the USDA data getting used? Shouldn't the AI use it? Oh, okay. All right, fine. It's using a fancy way of doing it. Okay. Oh, that's fine, I suppose. It's now building the action flow. Okay, it's where we're going to be able to see this. What does it take in? It takes in a plan request ID. That is when the user says I want something, there'll be a plan created, and that's the ID. And then we're gonna load that ID up, and here we go. It's gonna use the plan ID, request ID, to look up that single plan with the ID, and it's going to compute. Oh, okay, it's running some code. I suppose that's fine. I mean, Claude has this tendency to write code. you can ask it to avoid writing code, uh, but it still has this tendency. The good thing about writing code is for small snippets like this, Claude is pretty good at getting them correct. But if you want more control, you could ask Claude again more explicitly to, just write, like avoid writing code. But let's see what does. Let's see how our old thing was working with or without code. I think that one was not doing that. This was one. Yeah, it just uses an A. Okay. It uses an AI first to create. I see. It was using an AI to calculate these things, but in this implementation, it was using code to calculate all these. Let's see what it does. Output account ID. Why would you do that? I don't know. That is very strange. Daily calories. Wow. Whoa, whoa. Okay. Okay. Whatever you say, Claude. And you will notice while we're doing it, it has these errors, right? And the reason they appear is just like when we humans are building, when we haven't finished the full configuration, when AI like puts in a partial configuration, you get an error, but the error is fine because it's gonna get corrected later. Yeah, that is why it was broken. And in fact, this is going to be sent to Claude at every round so that Claude knows I still have things to do. This is not complete. We have syntactic errors. And let's see how much code it has written for itself. Oh, and you can notice that here is an asking, that actually writes the code for you too. What are you doing, man? Oh, yeah, I think that's going to go in soonish. Oh yeah, it has written the code. That's the whole thing. There's some things that doesn't look nice, and var. Wow, that is some gnarly code. Damn. Well, I guess that is why we have no code because it's very difficult to read. Um, yeah, and maybe we'll. And actually, I'll just let it run for now because I don't want to interrupt it. But otherwise, this is massive. Okay, let's see how massive this thing gets. Also, I think Claude is getting the. This is Phil, but I think it's wrong because just looking at this, I can already tell it's wrong because if you read through this aloud, you will notice something off. We'll take in a plan. The plan is already tied to user, and we're gonna load it up. We're gonna calculate calories and output fats and stuff, which is fine. And then it says to output the gender and age and height. Why would we do that? Because that's a question, right? That should already be in the user's profile, and then user's profile should not really change. And that's funny because now it's updating the user's profile. So it says save targets to user profile. Shouldn't user profile be saved separately from the plan? These are a single user has a single profile, but a lot of meal plan requests, right? So that's something off. I'm going to tell it to fix it. A single, and AI is going to make mistakes, and the good thing is using a no code platform like this, you don't have to know the nitty gritty details by reading between the lines of code like this, like this. This is, by the way, this is even worse than, I don't know why Claude would do this. This is really weird. But anyways, we can read through these and get a good idea of what is going on from a high level, and we can already tell something's wrong with this on the high level. Like why would it be updating it? Okay, so a single user has a single request. Why are you updating the profile after every? No, sorry, not a single request, single profile. After every request, meal plan request. I mean, that's fairly loose prompting, but because we are in an interactive um, console with, or we sometimes call it repos, but we're interacting with Claude Code in a very tight loop, this is fine. But if you're doing this in an automated system, for example, if you're doing this as an agent you build to serve your client, that is usually a bad idea. Oh, that's all right. That's I'm shooting myself on the foot here. So that's all right, fine. I guess update, fine. Every time the user is going to get their profile updated. I guess maybe that's fine too. Like if I became fatter tomorrow, my my profile gets updated along the way. All right. So now it's, and also, why are you using code blocks so often? I don't read code. I mean, I do, but I'm pretending. I'm lying to Claude. Oh yeah, a loop over the shopping list. Nutrient extraction code. It still wants to do code. I mean, you can totally do this without, but fine. I mean, it's if it really wants it, do it. Restructure. The persistence doesn't have to go. See how it responds to my steering. It is kind of correct. It'd be more visible in the editor, but slower, a sequential loop over per item. I mean, it is true. What it has said is true. If you did it without a sequential loop, it's going to be faster. But most of the time in this workflow, it's going to be consumed by by the AI agent, right? So you're not really buying much. You're going to go from 5 seconds to 4.5 seconds. Okay. AI's meals output types as unknown. Really? You have an unknown? You have just built it yourself. All right, here we got a loop for each distinct ingredient. In fact, the API for this is almost completely done. We can start a parallel agent for it to build, start a sub agent to build the front end. And we're going to paste in the front end prompt. On this backend. What did this say? I'm just going to send it for now. Okay, it says it here. Build the front end for with React and Vite calling into the backend already built in this project. Use warm tones with soft pastel tones as primary color palette. Keep the interface simple and clean. Avoid typical SaaS style look. That's funny. Add food-related visual elements throughout, so the interface feels engaging and relevant to the subject. Don't make homepage just a login screen. Give it a clear value proposition with supporting copy explaining what the app does, along with food-related visual elements, so it feels warm and inviting rather than bare login form. It's fine. It's now starting a subagent. The method for start a subagent is really writing the prompt for the subagent, and yeah, that's basically that. And you can see what a subagent does in here. And it's correctly reading the Momen skills, so it knows how to interact with the Momen backend. So we're going to switch back. See our main guy. Our main guy is continuing with our USDA food loop wiring. And there we go. Search with an input that takes page size 1. Foundation, I don't know what this is. This is going to come from USDA's documentation. And it's going to write some code again to read fine. It could have used a formula, but it's a strong preference to use code when it comes to calculations, which is fair. All right, still building. By the end of this, it should also go and update the permissions. And one thing about permissions is that most people who first built their application pays no attention to permissions. And that is fine if you have no data to protect. But as soon as you start storing data, and then the data is somewhat valuable, you don't want it to get destroyed. You don't want other people to read it. And also, if you're storing your client's data, obviously they don't really want other clients, or in fact anyone on the internet, to read their data without permission. So that becomes crucial. And then we have built our plugin so that it always checks your permission configuration at the end of your work before and set it up. Otherwise, you will be figuratively like running naked on the internet, or even worse, your user. And you can notice this shape is somewhat different from this shape, and that's, oops, where we go. From this shape, it's because we are using AI to build it, and therefore it's not very deterministic. But and also the same functionality can be built differently, right? Like even you get two people to build it, they probably do it differently. Oh, there we go. Probe loop. All right. It's testing, see if it works. That is very funny. Probe loop. Okay, so it's you can see as I was talking about permissions, by the time it finishes the all the business logic is going to check the permissions. And let's take a look at what this front end builder is doing. Okay, it's getting a bunch of stuff. That's good. Probe insert meal. And these will get filled. Probe loop over its ingredients. Funny. Okay, now it's just watching the paint drying, so that's not very interesting. So circling back to what I said about importing APIs automatically, let me demonstrate that rather than telling you that it works. I am going to use, what do I have in XX? Nothing. That is good. I want nothing. Oh, I have something. Oh yeah, I remember XS. Yeah, okay. Import the stuff about searching. Actually, that's the initial guide. It really should go to somewhere else. Let's see if it works. About searching for food info, calories and stuff. It's fetching some documentation. Well, that is fast. Wow. Okay. Wow. That is very fast. Holy crap. I'm surprised by Momen myself. I mean, like, when okay, it is fast. I have no words. Wow. Check your work. No API keys? I'm noticing something odd. I missed it. So it should now add it in. Yeah, see, API keys. Other parameters that you may have missed. Optional ones too. See, it was being lazy. It knew how. Wow, that is very fast. Holy crap. Okay. Yes, that just proves that I'm not lying. I mean, I didn't know it was this fast. I mean, maybe it was because it's running on the server or something. It was really close to the model. We're using, I think if I'm correct, I forgot. We're either using GPT 5.6 Luna here, or we're using Gemini 3.5 Flash Lite inside here. And I mean, I've been changing these models recently, so I don't really know which one we're using right now. But it's one of those two. And if you ask it, it wouldn't tell you because I told it not to. It's gonna say something like, yeah, it doesn't tell you. Oh well. Oh well. Now let's come back to this. We got this thing here, no longer probe. It has recognized that it can do this, and it has filled in the things. Shouldn't you update the calories as well? Why are they all 0? Sometimes it's, AI just does some weird stuff that I don't quite get. Like, why are these 0? They are clearly doable. Oh, because it wasn't uh maybe that's because it has configured the AI wrong, so the AI doesn't output it. So let's take a look. Yeah, it doesn't output it. So there should be a lookup somewhere. Oh no, that's fine. That's fine. It's updating it later, so that's fine. That's also very odd. It's a very odd way of structuring your workflow. It is very, very odd. They're placeholders. Okay, that makes I found it myself. They're not final values. They're not null. So the inserter has to write something, and the final moment is unknown. So and AI is forbidden from outputting numbers. Okay, so you see lookup happens later. Okay, that makes fine. Should never render plan that isn't ready. Okay, so that is also cool, and it's self coherent. It is not going something. Yeah, this is also a nice thing, nice touch, right? So initially we set it to generating, so it does exist. The plan exists. It's just not shown to you, regardless of where you are. And see the plan view. All right, it's progressing nicely. We'll later see it working. Hopefully we have enough time. Our AI taking a few sidetracks. It was writing a bunch of code. I instructed it not to write too much code. It is now through 37 minutes. Now the delete flow and the permissions. I mean, fine. Because when you delete a single plan, you want to delete all the meals with it. You want to delete, I guess, all the ingredients with it. By the way, the model I've been using here is Opus 5.0, but ooh, fancy. I gotta show you guys this. The sub agent has built out this. It just opened up this. The reason it was able to do this, it opened it again because I was touching it, so I didn't really like it. The reason it was able to do this is I installed Playwright MCP, and that's something that I think everybody should use. So AI can test its own front end. And meanwhile, we are going to add other instructions into our plugin so AI can test its backend as well. So now you have a fully tested thing when it's done building. And that's the whole point about Momen because we want the visibility and the control, as well as the AI powered efficiency, so that you can stay on top of the loop. You don't have to be in the loop, but you're on the loop. That's some fancy new language from around here, which is, all these AI people talking about people on the loop now. And the one of the criteria of people like humans on the loop or in the loop is that they are still able to make sense of what AI built. And if all the AI gives you is a bunch of it's changing stuff and it's exploding, that is very much expected since it's still building it. Yeah, so you need to understand what's going on, and in order for that to happen, we need to make sure that AI operates at the same abstraction level as you, or at least its output is on the same abstraction level as your typical workflow, and it is presented in a way that you are able to understand. So let's go through this again, what this does. It's a very long one, but let's take a look at step. Loads a plan, calculates the calories and micro targets, and outputs everything, saves that into the user profile, create a meal plan record, inserts a bunch of data from the previous, this part, the calculation, uses AI to generate the meal plan, validates the generated plan using a bunch more code. I don't know. Avoid keywords. What? All right. And then for each generated meal in here, it's going to insert the meal for that plan. And then for each meal, it's going to insert all the ingredients. And then we're going to build the shopping list by merging all of them. This is more complicated than needed. If I were to do this, I'll use AI to do all that and ask AI to do the looping itself. But such as that. I mean, that's okay. So shopping list, and for each distinct ingredient, we're gonna search up the data, read some stuff, and update the data into the shopping list item, and compute nutrition items, and then mark the meal ready, and eventually output the meal plan ID. All right, so that's that. The delete, it basically goes through the entire thing and deletes everything. So you go, who's deleting? Load it up. Load that single one up. You got account ID and the ID, so you don't delete someone else's. And load up the meals, delete them, and delete everything, and eventually done. All right. And it is going to bind these two as well because it will be able to see this. And let's take a look at what the generate thing. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. And it hasn't synced changes yet. So we can, I would just ask it sync changes. It was going to sync changes later, but bah. It's going around these branches and output data binding. Okay, final. It's going to do these two soon. Okay. Binding more output. So, okay, so that's done. Now it's going to flag 2 permission gaps I need to close. how interesting these agents are talking among themselves. Live test. When finished, live test the front end built by the subagent. It's updating permissions. Yeah. It's updating permissions. And if we go there, go to permissions, you can see that anonymous user don't get to see a lot of tables. So in this case, it's why does it get to update accounts? I don't know. It hasn't finished yet. So let's see what it does. Logged in APIs and all that. Logged in user has 12. It can update everything. That's, I guess, okay, maybe. It's not done yet. So in fact, when you're doing permissions, it's also, I would categorize this as business logic, because if you think about it, who can do what, who can see what, is very much a business decision, right? It's not some afterthought. Like, we implicitly think that everybody should have access to their own things, but what is their own things? What if the permission has hierarchies? Like, what if I have children and I need to see my children's meal plans? What if this is a audit system that you don't want the history to change? Okay, let's see what the AI is doing. Here we go. It's some condition, and since it's not bound, it's throwing error. AI is seeing this error, and Claude is going to set those conditions. Found something wrong. It wrote some code. It has a very strong tendency to write code. While we wait for it to finish setting these conditions, it's done something. Hasn't finished yet. So let's wait for it to set the condition. We have, as I said, we have plugin added the ability to deploy. So that is in, where is it, deploy? Static side here. Deploy a build front end, blah, blah, blah. So this is how it does it. And yeah, so we can ask it to do it. We can even ask it to bind to a custom domain. I don't think I have time to show you this today, but next time maybe. Okay, it's done a bunch of stuff. All 4 of scope, granting remaining 6 tables. All right. It's planned out how to do. Ooh, look at this. A logged in user can read its own thing, right? Query the data is basically the current row. Can update its own thing. Sorry, can only insert things that belong to it, and can only update the things. In fact, it's missing another condition. after update data should also equal to it. So that is something that Claude has missed. It can only delete its own things. Very, very much wanted. Can't delete. And for account, can read everything. It can update everything. That's odd. AI mistakes again. Plan request tag, it can do everything. Maybe. Probably. Oh, no. It's not done yet. Yeah, it has to go through every single table and do this. Because that is how you ensure that you have a bulletproof permission system. This really shouldn't have access to it. Like, it's done inside a action flow. And the other thing that I often say is that you should be using permission systems together with some kind of credit tracking or membership tracking to determine who has access to your core functionalities. Generate meal plan is going to cost you real tokens, and therefore maybe you should paywall this. And delete meal plan obviously is it should be limited to the person who owned the plan, right? Or you can do the check inside. That's another thing. In this case, it's kind of difficult because your input is a plan ID, so you can't really like limit them in here. But if you were to pass in something else, then you can do it. We do know who is calling it though, so and yeah, so we always know like who's calling it at that specific moment. And this guy clearly should have been excluded because you calling it only inside the action flow. So that should remain backend only. But AI has skipped that. That's part of the thing. If you want it to be more locked down, you should directly discuss with the AI, ask it to inspect it again, and then recheck its own work. But for now, since we're in a bit of a time crunch, we're going to. Okay, I think it's done. Oh, now action flow and okay. Yeah, it's true. It's very much true that you should fix the AI invocation permissions. One thing you can rest easy is that we never expose any of your keys on the front end. So all the API calls will always, which may be a too much of a too much of a guarantee, but for now, all the API calls, whether it's to a large language model or it is just a normal API call, is going through the server. So the front end never sees it. Ah, it's testing. So it has. That is very odd. It has turned both of these off. Oh man. That is very funny. And it has it turned it off for everybody. It's crazy. And it has synchronized the changes. So it has turned everything off, and I guess it's testing it. Good. It's actually testing it. Waiting for the plan to complete. How do you even plan? How do you even complete that if you have turned off permission on everything? Yeah, it's clearly not in there. Does it have any data? Let's take a look. Plan request. Somewhat active. Lose weight. That's this is the admin account. Like when you're editing the when you're the editor and you're editing it, you automatically assume this account ID, right? You become like the God mode, and the God mode is only accessible through the editor. You can't like mimic uh, this account ID. You can't just put that number somewhere and assume you become the um, the God essentially. Plan request. Okay, all right. Mio, not there yet, not there yet. AI, you running? Nope, not there yet. So I'm gonna ask it to read the logs too. And let's take a log ourselves. In fact, we can also read the log through here, telling it something like, what's going on in the system? Check logs. Yeah, here we go. There's those are the requests that's coming in. And it says waiting for 44 seconds. Okay. We do have a lag in the log. It's around 40 seconds. Why it says 44, I don't know. Actually, no, ours 45 seconds. Why it says 44? This is actually an AI output, so I don't know. It's searching log. But if you tell it an actual time that is more than 44 seconds ago, 45 seconds ago, it should return pretty immediately. So the system ID operating. Okay. Oh, it is running AI now. Wait, what? Why do I see nothing here? That is very odd. What AI was it running? Hey, this is design. This is really fast, by the way. This is really fast. Holy crap. Why no records in DB of the AI running? What was the input to the agent? Let's do a search again. This time, see, this time the search was much faster because it didn't have to wait for so long. Actual numbers. It's reading a bunch of plugins for looking at database. I think it's gotten stuck in a loop. Yeah, this one's being stuck as well. Yeah, sometimes you gotta stop it. Like it was doing things in a loop. I think I should do a bit of loop like detection. This is clearly not desirable when you're always reading loops, reading stuff and not doing anything. All right. And it says it's doing it, then it says not doing it. It's okay. By the way, one thing that we do in here is that every time you write something to the AI, there's a timestamp that's associated with this user message. That's not automatic, but once you put that, AI is then able to reason about time. Otherwise, large language models doesn't have inherent concept a uh, of time passing, right? It's like almost like frozen in time in a sense. Take looking at these permissions, it's still broken, but let's see. We can now, this is newly built, we can now sign up. Let's try to sign up with the wrong thing. Does it work? Sending. Sent. All right, there you go. I'm trying to log in. It should fail. Yes. Uh, yeah, that's a bug. So we have to do sign up, really. Bad verification code. All right. That's unfortunate. Start the live test. Live test stack. Let me drive first. Oh yeah, synced backend. Did it change something? Well, this is clearly wrong. So for now, let's just do that. Input, that's fine. So everybody can create and delete. APIs are off. Moment AIs are off. That's all fine. I'm gonna sync myself. Oh, it has very kindly added these test accounts. Okay, okay. Test yourself. Test it yourself. Now we can watch the AI basically starting the says while that runs. Okay, here we go. Gonna move it over here. It's launched it with Playwright, so that's good. Now let's wait for it to click around. It didn't really like my other screen, so whenever I dragged it off, it restarted it. It's like, fine. Homepage is solid. Checking the console error, then signing up. I can't really sign up, can you? Yeah, it's written some wrong thing inside the action flow. I knew it was doing some crazy stuff with the freaking code components. No, sorry, the code blocks. Clicking get started in header. Okay, comes in here. Sign up needs an email code I can't receive. Yeah, that is true. I was just saying that you can't really sign up, can you? Yeah, that's good. It's expected. What is it testing now? It's trying to do some authentication to log in. Okay, it just faked itself. Fine. It can fake itself because it has the access to the God mode since it is the editor. It was editing the. It was editing it here. Oh no! That's the wrong one. That's a dev mode. Sorry. It was editing it in here, so it had God mode. Why did it turn it off again? What? No, that's correct. Okay. Authentication works. Filling intake form. Take a look at the intake form filling. One funny thing about AI is that they click these things much slower than human, right? You'd think they're this um crazy high intelligent thing you're not allowed to generate. Oh man. That is well. By the way, this is actually really good because it saw it was set to not allowed to operate, and then it was rejected and it got an error. Well, that's because it's not synchronized, obviously. And it's able to check all the history here. So that's also something that most like non-developers have problem with. Anonymous users now can only see accounts, and funnily, it can even update account. That's also wrong. So table access. I was trying to insert stuff, and okay. How did it get to this crazy number? Okay. Testing again. Cool. It's now running. And let's see. It probably should now start checking the logs. It is now running, working out the energy needs, writing the 3 days meal. How does it even know this? How does it even know the progress? I think it's making stuff up. Wait on a second. How does it even know this? This is some crazy stuff. I mean, it does correspond to the actual progress, seems like. So it's probably running some AI now. It's not running AI. What is it doing now? Or maybe that's on the timer. This is requesting latest plan. Okay, it has found nothing yet. Nothing yet. Yeah, it is. It is clearly just faking it. So that makes more sense. It was like, how do you even get the progress? I mean, you could build it in, right? You could build it in. Insert some kind of progress record associated with a specific plan, but yeah, I think it really had a bug. All right, I guess we have to call it a day because I'm pretty sure AI has written some wrong code inside here. And therefore, it didn't, let's see, any errors in custom code in during running for the last hour. Yeah, searching. No errors. That's strange. Yeah, this is what's going on. Yeah, it's written the wrong code. Read the doc. Oh, it is quite crazy how like Claude actually has all the documentation available to it. There is even a specific tool, a specific skill for it to let it to check the docs, and yet it chose not to read it. Here we go. Finally, why wouldn't you read this? If you read it, if you had read it, you wouldn't have written all these crazy code. Maybe I should uh, put that as a rule inside our plugin so it always goes to read the doc before going crazy on writing some code that has imagined up. Rewriting our code knows properly instead of probing. You didn't have to probe in the first place. Okay, I think it will fix it this time. That is crazy. Read the doc. Oh man. Okay, now a bunch of crazy stuff again. C and P and F and CB. Oh my god. Leftover probe should be none. Okay, good. Okay, let's see. Okay, it has updated everything. Oh, I mean, this is... Yeah, this is typically what you see with these scripted code. It's very dense. Okay, so hopefully we'll knock this one out this time with a bit of assistance from me telling it to read the docs. 0 errors, no errors this time. Checking where the run has reached. Do we have... Finally, now that's a good sign. We have an AI running. It's done. I think what's missing here is like it was waiting for too long for it to complete. It was already hitting error condition. It should be given that earlier on. So like whenever the thing fails, it should see it. It wasn't seeing that the action flow already failed, and that's a problem. And I will fix that. Okay, here we go. That's there. We now have the user profile. Yay! We have the plan request, the new one, the old one and the new one. Plan tags, meal plan. Finally, there's a ready meal plan coming from all this thing. And with the associated 9 meals. The 9 meals: dinner, lunch, breakfast, day 1, 2, 3. And we have the shopping list of 12 items: bell peppers, brown rice, chicken breast of only £1? Damn. That's the salmon. Okay. I was like, man. Meals, meal ingredients, shopping list items. Good. Good. Yeah. Okay, nutrients wasn't coming back. Okay, so it's doing that. Okay, so it's almost done with fixing everything. And this time, this guy should have this. Good. So we open that. And we have our daily target with the amount of protein and fat and carbs. And here we go, what to eat every day, shopping list. Not too bad. And while this is running, I'm going to sign out and sign up. Send code. I'm going to sign up again. I will put in the create account. Okay, have my code. Yeah. It is logged in. But we hit an error. History. I have nothing. Okay, I am in. It's just, let's try this again. Generate. And now if we go to the database, we should see me. Can't see your screen. Switch the live app. Ah, sorry. I think that was the reason it was not showing. Yeah. Now you should be able to see it. Okay, this is doing that. And we should see a new account here. That's me, the user profile. That should appear somewhere. This is me. Okay. Number 3, plan request. That's the one. Meal plan. 2 of them are generating. There should be an AI doing something in here. Complete it. That's done. Hmm. Okay. You're not able to see. Screen capture. Oh, I think the screen capture has frozen. Yeah, the screen capture has gone crazy. Let me switch around. Okay, should be back now. It was yeah, OBS went crazy and got stuck. And let's see if I have my meal plan is ready in here. Still generating. Okay, so I guess Claude has gone a bit crazy and wrote some wonky code. I will tune this a bit more, especially around like how Claude shouldn't be really going too crazy with coding. And we shall see you next time. And tomorrow, I think I'll just be using this and see how this does compared to using something like Claude. Thank you very much for coming. See you next time.